Hey there, it's Trisha, and I want to go over a few things from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'm going to move pretty quickly so I can try and get all 3 days on this one video. We take a conservative approach with a couple setups, definitely conservative. And if you'd like to get more information about those, you can go to www.easyemintrade.com. So we'll start out by looking at Wednesday the 9th. I want to point out we had a setup occurring first thing in the morning right here. And interestingly enough, when you go back and look at every day this week where you had a setup occurring at 9:31, 9:32, 9:33, pretty early in the morning, they worked out. Ignored all areas of support and resistance, and they worked out. Go back last week, the same thing, anything setting up in those first few minutes. So definitely going to likely be willing to try those at least a couple times until they don't work, and if they don't work, then I'll have to be cautious again. But you know, here's one that I didn't take first thing in the morning because of the time and because of the support area being right below. So obviously worked out for a great trade. Actually, what we did was we waited for the pullback to the channel. Didn't quite touch the channel, but I was willing to take it once we got below this 1088 area and the low from the previous day, which is the orange line. So got in, had an entry in just under this bar. Next bar, never traded to that entry under this bar. So I still left my order in place because I was willing, if price got below here, I was willing to take it with anticipation of getting down to the 1085 area. So that's what I did, and it worked out just fine. But again, I wanted my entry still under this bar because I didn't want to move it to a quarter under this bar in the event that all we did was trade down to the low of here and then pop back up above this 1088 area, because we know that that's been a really difficult area. And of course, Wednesday still trading the ES Z contract. So want to point that out. This is a setup that occurred in the afternoon. Actually, it wasn't quite the afternoon, it was 10:43, and was not willing to take this because of the strong area of resistance right above our head, which was 1092. It was a very strong area overnight. It was a very strong area in the past, and because of where we're at on our daily chart, we keep repeating you know, the same support and resistance areas. So until we can get through them, I feel like I have to pay attention to them. And so that's just the way it is. So this was a trade that I did not take, and that was 1043. Obviously, it worked out fine. Got up to the pivot point above us and then pulled back. I was willing to actually take a pullback to the middle line. We called this trade as well, but said it would be risky just because this was our high of the day and it was right up to the pivot point. So it was risky because you just didn't know if you'd get back up there again. So was willing to take this as long as we stayed closed above the middle line. So we touch it here. If you put an order in above either of these bars here, it never gets filled. We trade under it and then we get back closed above it. So entered above here and got stopped out on that one. And this was a trade that was at 3:03 in the afternoon and got closed outside our channel, indicator above 20 and rising. So got in above that bar and managed to have a nice trade as well. Wanted to pay attention obviously to our pivot point and the 1095 area of previous support and resistance above us, but managed to get right through that. So that worked out nicely as well. But the key is that when we took it, we had room up to this area. So just something to always keep in mind. Thursday, this is Thursday you're looking at, and in the morning we start out trading the Z contract. What I do is I usually will roll over in the afternoon once the volume on the new contract outweighs the volume on the old contract. So usually start out in the morning trading the old contract, and so that's what we did here, still trading the Z. Again, first thing in the morning, the first couple minutes, you get a setup occurring with resistance above you. So again, worked out, you know, another day. Didn't take it. Next week I will be willing to try those first couple minutes in the morning, but you know, like I said, every day that we had one set up first thing in the morning, this week and last week, it worked out. So you know, interesting to note. Here's a setup that we took. This was at got in at 1010 and actually wanted to get below this support area of 1102.50, and we did get there, got closed outside the channel here, but I just wanted a little more confirmation that we weren't going to pop right back up above that. So we get a couple more bars down, a bounce higher, so no place to really get in here. Even if I was willing to get in under this bar, it never trades the entry price. So once it closed back inside the channel and still held that that area of 250, and actually was interested in the 2 area as well, 1102, because that was that was strong overnight, a very strong area of support. So was wanting to do something under that 1102 area. So even though we pulled back here, we still maintained under the 250 area created here. Then on this bar here, we actually got back closed below the 1102 area. So I was willing to take an entry under this support area created here, even though it's not a setup per se. We didn't get closed back outside the channel, but my thought was, okay, if we can get in under this area, we've got to 1100 right below us, so let's shoot for just above that, 1125 or 1150. So that worked out, and then obviously what we did was we took 2/3 off the table, anticipating this bounce here at 1100. So stopped out on our final third. So took 2/3 on the first target and stopped out on the final third at the entry. Thursday afternoon, we start trading the H contract. Nothing sets up. The volume was really light on Thursday afternoon, so we only had that one trade on Thursday. Friday, the room doesn't meet, but this is a trade that I took right here, and this was at 1119, so 1120 got filled, expecting just to get likely 3/4 of a point out of it, and was just lucky enough that we got through this area from the close from Thursday, so I was able to do a little better than that. I only did take my first target at I took first target at +3/4, second target at plus a point, and then the third target I was stopped out at my entry over here, again anticipating the bounce either here at the close from the previous day or the pivot point created. Want to point out, and that was really the only trade that I took. I'd only traded in the morning. Really wasn't anything else to take in the afternoon. It looks like the volume was really light on Friday afternoon, and you'll notice that I do have the floor trader pivots on here with a couple extra lines drawn in. The blue ones are ones that I drew, and reason is that we still want to pay attention to all the areas that we've been paying attention to on the daily, but because of the price difference when you roll over from the old contract to the new contract, you just kind of have to adjust it. So basically, you just take those same areas you've been watching and just deduct approximately 5 points from them, and it will catch up by the end of the week. Price will catch up, and you won't have to do that. But floor trader pivots fell right in line with a lot of the areas that we were watching, so I just went ahead and put those on there. So anyway, I hope that helped. And if you want to check out the setups, www.easyemintrade.com.